This is a certified hood classic.
Haters are easily some of the most entertaining folks in any piece of media. When you see a hater in a TV show or a movie, you know they're about to go insane on their opponent, which is why in today's video, we gotta go over some of the greatest haters of all time. Eobard, Thawne and Zolomon from DC Comics, Thanos from Marvel Comics, Kendrick Lamar, the best in the world, CM Punk, Sukuna from Jujustu Kaisen, Akainu from One Piece, Dio from JoJo, Broly from Dragon Ball, and Stinkmeaner from the Boondocks. So without further ado, let's get right on with the video.
That fuck 'em up.
DC Comics is home to many twisted villains, but we're going to be looking at two petty haters who have been known as Zoom and Reverse Flash in the DC universe, Eobard, Thawne, and Zolomon. Eobard Thawne is the Flash's greatest villain and first appeared in The Flash number 139 in 1963. In the 25th century, Thawne was a nerd who was obsessed with Barry Allen, the Silver Age Flash, so much so that he had plastic surgery to make himself look more like his hero. Truly a crazy thing to do, on the same crazy levels as Ollie London. While going through the Flash Museum, Thawne found out he would become Barry's greatest enemy, Reverse Flash, and die in a battle with his childhood hero. Once Thawne found out about this, the man turned into the wildest hater the world has ever seen. Thawne made his profound statement as a hater by deleting Barry's mom and doing petty things such as pushing Barry down the stairs like that's just foul. The villain vibrated his hand through Iris' head during a party, killing her instantly, and then tried killing Barry's new girl, Fiona Webb. What is this man's problem? Barry at this point had enough of Thawne and snapped his neck to stop his actions. Even with Thawne's death here, his demise did not stop him from being a generational menace to the Flash family, as years later, during Wally's time as the Flash, he pulled up and was given the Flash family Star Platinum level hands. Of course, Wally ended up clapping him, but still a crazy play by Eobard Thawne. Eobard Thawne is an S-tier hater, not only to Barry Allen and the Flash family, but also to the people who he believes have wronged him in the past. Some of Thawne's most outlandish moments include killing his entire family, murdering every dude his crush ever loved, and when she still didn't want him, he turned her into a mute, ripping the letter Thomas Wayne gave Bruce Wayne during the Flashpoint storyline. Only a true hater would do some evil shit like that, and manipulate Wally West to go out of control with his powers during Heroes in Crisis. Let's not forget about the iconic "It Was Me, Barry" meme that transcended Thawne on the path of being the greatest hater of all time. It's hilarious because the only reason why Thawne acts the way he does towards Barry and the Flash family is because Barry won't spend quality time with him. My guy needs to be checked out in the head. Zolomon, aka Zoom, second Reverse Flash, is Wally's arch nemesis, who was originally one of Wally's closest homies. This all changed one day when Grodd pulled up on Hunter and broke his spine, causing Hunter to end up in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Had bro out here looking like my guy at the end of Naruto, you hate to see it. During this time, Hunter asked Wally if he could use the cosmic treadmill to go back in time and stop that moment from happening, and y'all already know where this is going. Wally, understanding the risk of changing the timeline, told Hunter he cannot do that as it would cause negative ripples on a time stream. Hunter was butthurt at the fact Wally wouldn't help him and decided to break into the Flash Museum so he could use the cosmic treadmill himself. This didn't go well for the homie as the treadmill blew up in his face. Miraculously, Hunter did not die from the explosion and instead was given the ability to alter time relative to himself. Such a broken ability, by the way. With this new ability, Hunter decided it was time to be a petty hater and became the new Reverse Flash, aka Zoom. Hunter felt like Wally had no tragedy in his life like Barry Allen and wanted to change that fact quickly. A sick individual, Zoom made his presence known as a hater by bullying Jay, Bart, and Wally, whooping Wally so bad to the point he couldn't do anything to stop Zoom from using his sonic clap move to send Linda Park, Wally's wife, flying away. And when Wally tried to get to Linda, Hunter proceeded to knock the man down and told him to learn from the devastating L he just took. An elite hater, and this is all happening because Wally didn't want to go back in time to stop Hunter's tragic incident from happening. To make matters worse, Hunter's attack on Linda caused her to have a miscarriage, and this greatly angered Wally West. Wally West came back for revenge with a double speed boost thanks to the OG Jay Garrett and Bart Allen, and even with this boost, Wally was still getting fodderized by the menace known as Zoom. Once Jesse Quick got involved and gave her speed to Wally, the hero was finally able to stand toe-to-toe with Zoom and defeat the menace by forcing him into a temporal anomaly. Zoom would come back from this L and feud with other heroes besides Wally West, such as Wonder Woman and the Justice League, an underrated hater who's often overshadowed by his more popular predecessor, Eobard Thawne. Thanos is one of the coldest supervillains out there and stole the show when he was introduced into the MCU as a generational menace. Thanos becomes a unique hater in the comics because the man tries to win over the love of Lady Death as he's massively obsessed with her, even though she rejects him at every chance. To all the brothers who have a woman who does them like this, go level up with a new chick. Thanos was so captivated by Lady Death that the man started doing outlandish stuff in the universe to get her attention, such as wiping out 500,000 of the population in the infamous story Infinity Gauntlet, a story I recommend y'all checking out. Thanos was extremely cruel to both of his daughters, Gamora and Nebula. Thanos deleted both of his parents, which in this case is understandable because the mom tried killing him when she first saw him. Imagine that, you pop out of your mom, and because of how you look, she immediately starts trying to pack you up to the afterlife. I don't blame Thanos for becoming what he is today, to be honest. Being a deadbeat father like Rey Mysterio and deleting his children just to appease death. Thanos is a huge simp, and a moment that doesn't get talked about enough is how Thanos pulled up to a dude's birthday to torment him over and over again because he had the power to do it. If that doesn't scream elite hater, then I'm cooked for adding Thanos to the list here. Thanos prevented a woman from finding the cure to cancer by helping a lady cross the street, and on her deathbed, he pulled up to explain how he ruined her dreams like a true sick individual would do. Let's not forget how this man Thanos is the reason why folks nowadays don't take the Hulk seriously at all. Thanos gave Hulk a generational beating so bad that a homie was turned into a professor for the rest of the MCU. Thanos is an underrated hater who deserves to be on this list for the things he's done in the Marvel Universe. CM Punk is the best in the world and one of the highlights of modern WWE. When he returned to the WWE back in November 2023, we knew he was going to be on Demon Time, and he's been proving that since with the way he's been screwing Drew McIntyre over with every chance he gets, becoming a twisted hater in the process towards Drew. Now y'all are probably wondering, how did Punk become such an elite hater in the year 2024? It all started when Punk encountered Drew in the 2024 Royal Rumble. During their throwdown, Punk was injured. Though Punk was still able to eliminate Drew in the process, the injury was serious, which forced Punk to miss this year's WrestleMania. For the next coming weeks, Drew gloated about how he was the reason why Punk was injured and how he prayed for that moment to happen. The man even made a shirt about the whole situation. Unknown to Drew, Punk's Thawne meter was filled up, and at WrestleMania 40, Punk cost him the world title after beating Seth Rollins in front of Drew's wife too. What a vile human being. Then on the following Raw, Punk proceeded to screw Drew McIntyre out of a #1 contendership match for the world title, and Punk's elite hater moment came when he flew across the whole world in a plane to screw Drew out of the world title in his country and in front of his people while his wife was in the hospital. How much of an evil person do you have to be to fly across the world and screw someone, then dare to wear a Scotland jersey after screwing a man out of the said title? Drew at this point became the living embodiment of the Bugs Bunny "Surely you know this means war" slogan, and on the SmackDown episode he cooked the elite hater known as CM Punk, had Punk out here looking like Jotaro after his battle with Yoshikage Kira in part 4 of JoJo. Drew made sure to humiliate Punk further by taking his wife's AJ Lee's bracelet. You know their match is gonna hit when it finally comes this year. I really think CM Punk is definitely going in second place this year for elite hater, bro. He pulled up in Toronto, Canada at Money in the Bank and screwed Drew McIntyre again. After the man just won the Money in the Bank, he screwed Drew McIntyre. He screwed Seth Rollins too, because Seth Rollins can never ever compete for the world title while Damian Priest has the title, bro. And he gained another op in the form of Damian Priest because that bro wanted to win this match fair and square, but CM Punk screwed him too, so now this man just gained 3 new ops. But yeah, with all the things Punk has done to Drew this year so far, he deserves to be on this list. The next elite hater on the list is one of the greatest haters, aka Dio Brando. Dio is the living embodiment of hatred maxed out to the highest degree. In Dio's debut, he jumped out of his carriage like a Hall of Fame talent would do, proceeded to give Dildo's dog Danny the flying knee from UFC 4. From here, I knew Dio was going to be on the same level as Eobard Thawne, because how do you just knee a dog like that in your first appearance? After being adopted by the Joestar family, Dio made it his mission to be Jonathan Joestar's #1 hater, doing petty things such as trash talking Jonathan for trying to help him with his bags. Truly a despicable human being. Like, what is this? Dio elbowed my guy for trying to help him. Dio made sure to tell Jonathan that he'll always come first between them and that no one looks down on him without any consequences. Meanwhile, all Jonathan wanted was a friend, but Dio didn't give a damn and continued explaining to his new rival and how he hates dogs too, as he can't stand their bootlicking, as he likes to call it. A rocket cooked with Dio's introduction here. Dio will go on to do heinous acts to torment Jonathan, such as roasting the pet dog, Danny, like a newly baked chicken, and going animalistic on Arena, which resulted in him getting a life-changing ass beating from Jonathan on the same pitch as Devin Haney's, killing Jonathan's father. Dio was on a mission to take away all the happiness in Jonathan's life and ended up cooking weaken him for good by utilizing the Era 404 special move. Dio took the body of his rival and a century later continued feuding with Jonathan's grandson Joseph and his descendant Jotaro. Imagine how big of a hater you have to be to continue your profound hatred on the entire new generation of Joestars and their homies such as Kakyoin. Straight up turned Kakyoin into a donut. It was foul then and still is to this day. Even with Dio being sent off to the afterlife, his elite hating didn't end with him, as it was transferred to another generational hater known as Pucci, who made sure to honor Dio by deleting the whole Stone Ocean squad during part 6. Dio is an elite hater because of how his hatred for one Joestar extended to the entire bloodline and anyone who was ever close to the family. That's why Dio for sure is one of the greatest haters to ever do it. The S-tier talent known as Sukuna is one of the rawest haters we've gotten in the new anime era. A 99 overall talent, Sukuna, like many folks on this list, loves to hate one certain individual, and his name is Yuji Itadori. When these two first met, Yuji was ready to pack up Sukuna. Sukuna, being the 99 overall talent he is, quickly bypassed Yuji, and this was truly where the men started hating him, as Sukuna immediately put on his DC Young Flight hat to talk about how predictable he is as a fighter before kicking him off the edge. Talk about humiliation. Then again, what was Yuji thinking, believing he could pack up the king of curses like that? After explaining the innate domain to Yuji, Sukuna tells Yuji he'll repair his heart if he agrees to the two conditions: that he'll surrender his body whenever Sukuna shouts the word extension, and lose not just control over his body, but also the memory of the action too. Also on the fact he won't kill anyone either. Yuji was like nah at first, but after hearing the consequences of breaking the conditions from Sukuna, he was like bet, and told the menace to get off of him. Sukuna was a happy dude in this moment, like look at this devious smile right here. Too bad that smile wouldn't last long on Sukuna's face, as he received a mink to the face. Now this is where Sukuna started to despise Yuji's very existence, as the teenager told Sukuna he would never agree to a term like that. Sukuna was like, cool, if you beat me in a fight to the death, there'll be no conditions, but if he wins, Yuji will be under his two conditions. And before Yuji could even finish responding, his head was sliced in half like a Mortal Kombat fatality. Yeah, Sukuna's hater meter is slowly rising. Sukuna was so butthurt at the fact that Yuji didn't let him take control of his body that anytime Yuji asked for help, Sukuna would refuse each time with that devilish grin of his. Yuji was begging for Sukuna to help him in multiple situations, such as his battle with Junpei, and Sukuna straight up refused to heal Junpei. One thing I like about Sukuna is how the man is pure evil. He's not like Kuruma and some of these other inside demons. Sukuna stands on business when it comes to hating Yuji with a passion, not helping him with anything. Sukuna never misses on undermining and laughing at Yuji, whether it's in his failures or his accomplishments, and by the time he was finished killing people and destroying the city during season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, he gave Yuji back control of his body so he could see all the destruction that was caused by them to psychologically break him down even more. Sukuna is an elite hater because he's evil incarnate, a petty individual who thrives off seeing Yuji suffer and doesn't value any life whatsoever. If Thawne was put into anime form, Sukuna would be his ideal counterpart other than Dio. The 100 overall talent Broly is one of the most menacing anime bullies out there due to how destructive he was in Dragon Ball Z. Broly is one of the OGs when it comes to being an elite hater. In this case, he's an elite hater when it comes to Goku, or as he would like to call him, Kakarot. This hatred for Goku started all because Goku started crying in their baby cribs every night, causing Broly to feel agitated and sad. A really stupid way to hate someone. Nonetheless, Broly is what the final form of an elite hater is. Every time Broly saw Goku in the Legendary Super Saiyan movie, he tweaked out as he realized his #1 op was in front of him. Broly's father tried his best to calm down Broly, but the 100 overall talent wasn't happening, as Broly's rage was so potent it broke through the mind control device. Such a sick moment, by the way, and Broly's Legendary Super Saiyan form remains one of the greatest in Dragon Ball Z. You guys put some respect on Trunks for putting Broly on game. Broly's aura was so deadly that Vegeta, the dude who always wants to fight the main villain, was shivering in his boots like a crackhead grunt from the Halo series. Broly proceeds to foderize each member of the Z-Fighter for ease. Like Broly was out here bullying an 11-year-old Gohan. OG Broly gave no at all. Besides burying the Z-Fighters in this movie, Broly destroyed his slave homeworld and crushed his father Pegasus in their pod before eating him into outer space. Broly doing this to his father is on the same level as Thawne killing his entire family to study the strengths and weaknesses of Barry Allen. Even with all the mayhem Broly caused in this movie, such as humiliating the Prince of all Saiyans, Goku was able to defeat him with the combined strengths of all the Z-Fighters. This wouldn't be the last time we'd see Broly, as the next movie, Broly came back to bully Goten, Trunks, and Gohan. Imagine how twisted of a hater you have to be to start beating on the son because he reminds you so much of your biggest op, and then also bully Trunks and Videl just because they happen to be friends with the young boy. Gohan pulled up, and while he did fare better against Broly, it still didn't save him from receiving generational back shots from Broly. Like the last movie, Broly was giving each one of the Z-Fighters elite hands. But at the end of the day, the menace was packed up to the sun after receiving a family Kamehameha from Goku, Gohan, and Goten. Broly, as many legendary YouTubers before me have said in their video, is a Black Force energy user who thrives on conflict and hate. Broly is an elite hater because he's evil incarnate and thrives off making others suffer, whether it's his biggest op, Goku, or a bunch of innocent commoners. That's what makes Broly one of the top tier haters out there. The magma man known as Akainu is from the hit series One Piece and is an underrated hater compared to everyone else on this list. Sakazuki was one of the OG admirals in One Piece and the current fleet admiral in the series. Akainu earned his spot on this list as an elite hater when he committed genocide on the people of Ohara during a tragic incident by ordering the destruction of an evacuation ship filled with civilians and soldiers. Akainu is twisted in his sense of justice. During Marineford, Akainu was on that menacing aura too as the admiral packed up a marine to the afterlife for fleeing away from the battle due to his cowardice. Imagine being a common marine soldier and you got this twisted dude as one of your bosses. I'd be done with being a marine, that's all I'm gonna say. After finding out that Luffy was the son of Monkey D. Dragon, Akainu turned into a generational hater against the Straw Hat and vowed to eliminate him himself. Akainu was also throwing hands with the all-star talent known as Whitebeard and even talked trash about how he was a relic of the past. Akainu in this arc showed he was a great dude when it came to trash talking someone. The dude was delivering 05 level Cena promos on Whitebeard and wounded him greatly with a blow to the chest. Once Ace got freed, Akainu made it his mission to take both Luffy and Ace down as he used his S-tier roasting skills to talk trash about Whitebeard again, which angered Ace as he never liked anyone talking bad about the old man. Akainu was like, dang, this fool fell for my bait, and began humbling Ace as his devil fruit, the magma fruit, is the superior version of Ace's flare fruit. Akainu also turned his attention to the 87 overall talent known as Luffy, and when he got close to packing him up, Ace jumped in the way and was turned into a vanilla donut by the Admiral, shocking everyone there. Akainu quickly became the most hated marine there as Whitebeard took it upon himself to turn Akainu into the next Devin Haney. His efforts were in vain as he got jumped by another elite hater, Blackbeard. Akainu would go on to do more crazy things such as attempting to delete Kobe for disobeying his orders, but luckily with Shanks being there, he was forced to halt his actions. In the present day, Sakazuki is the fleet admiral and has an even bigger hatred for pirates, with Luffy being the one he hates the most for all the recent things he's done in the story so far. Akainu is a unique hater due to the extreme lengths he's willing to take for his sense of justice, even if that means the evisceration of common people such as civilians and his men in the marine. Akainu is a well-written character who I can't wait to see more of in One Piece. Stinkmeaner is a generational hater from Boondocks who rose to fame in the community for his insane levels of hate. Stinkmeaner is the personification of Black Force energy. Stinkmeaner doesn't give a damn about who you are or what you do. He's gonna shit talk you and hit on you just because he can as a prestige trash talker. Stinkmeaner had beef with Robert Freeman, and when he was unintentionally deleted by his rival, he was sent to hell. While in hell, Stinkmeaner was on a Dragon Ball Z level training arc learning martial arts while roasting the devil. Stinkmeaner's hate was so great that the man downstairs could not keep him down there for long because of his shit talking and dubbed him the baddest hell had ever seen. I mean, why wouldn't Stinkmeaner be called this? Bro straight up called the devil the episode where Stinkmeaner possesses Tom is a great example of his status as an elite hater. Once Stinkmeaner got a hold of Tom's body, he made sure to humble the dude who was trash talking him by giving him a dropkick like he's prime Randy Orton out here. Once he was done with a fraud in the parking lot, Stinkmeaner made it his mission to torment and make the Freeman's lives a living hell. The man pulled up and started throwing hands with everyone in the house. Now that Stinkmeaner had possession of a youthful body with perfect vision, you knew the beatdown for Freeman was going to be terrible as he was delivering Eddie Gordo level combos to each one of them. The Freemans were able to defeat Stinkmeaner thanks to Riley, who bonked him over the head with multiple collectible items. Realizing that Stinkmeaner was too much of a twisted individual, the Freemen called up the local neighborhood coon, Uncle Ruckus, to assist them in quelling the man's hatred by forcing him to read, beating him with multiple belt and witch strikes. Huey realized the only way to defeat Stinkmeaner was to have him find common ground with Uncle Ruckus, who equally hated black people as much as him, which resulted in Stinkmeaner's soul being released out of Tom's body. A big brain maneuver from Huey, but Stinkmeaner is for sure top 3 haters of all time for how he hates everyone in the series. The fact he was happy being blind so he wouldn't have to see people, and for cursing at the devil himself. A perfect package for an elite hater. The last elite hater we have on the list is the highly acclaimed rapper Kendrick Lamar, who easily took the top spot for the biggest hater of 2024 with 3 Vegeta atomic bomb level diss tracks towards another famous rapper by the name of Drake. It all started with Like That by Future and Metro, a classic everyone needs to listen to more in my opinion. In that that very song, Kendrick had a secret verse where he went off at Drake saying there ain't no big three, there's only big him, and made it clear to Drake that he's talking shit towards him. Drake answered back with a number of diss tracks aimed at Kendrick, such as Push-Ups, where he made fun of his rivals Vegeta-like size, and tailor-made Freestyle, where he used AI vocals of legendary West Coast rappers Tupac and Snoop Dogg on his verses to express disappointment and Kendrick not responding quick to his diss tracks. By playing both of Kendrick's major influences, Drake disrespected Kendrick even further, and of course, the Bugs Bunny slogan, when Drake put out this diss track, all hell broke loose. Tupac's essay was like, if you don't take down that diss track, my guy, you're getting packed up for good, and Drake immediately did as the essay requested. It was not over for Drake though, as the elite hater known as Kendrick Lamar put out a 6-minute track called Euphoria, where he called out Drake on a multitude of things such as his usage of the N-word, his way of fashion. Like the homie straight up told Drake he's his biggest hater. He hates the way he dresses, the way he speaks, the way he walks, the way he does anything. Like, y'all, I'm gonna be honest, Euphoria is still my favorite of Kendrick's diss tracks at Drake because that whole hater verse speaks to a dude's core being. Kendrick jumped Drake again by releasing 616 in LA, which causes Drake to release Family Matters, in which Drake goes off on K-Dot and his alleged broken relationship with his wife. This would be the beginning of the end for Drake, as Kendrick dropped Meet the Grahams, where he went off on his rival for being a deadbeat father like Toji from Jujutsu Kaisen, and alleging that Drake has another secret child besides his son Adonis. Kendrick went further on his hater meter by bringing up his ghostwriters, his son, and his PDF homies inside his OVO camp. The craziest line to me in this song was how Kendrick stated he doesn't have a hating bone in his body. Meanwhile, Kendrick was delivering a nuclear blast to this dude Drake in the song. Not even a day later, Kendrick released his most popular diss at Drake, Not Like Us, where he calls this man a colonizer, a PDF, a wannabe who wants to be a part of the culture, and this song was already deadly on its own, but it rose to an enormous level when folks around the world were out here dancing and making viral memes of Drake getting cooked by Kendrick. Even with Drake's next response, titled The Hard Part 6, which was knocking at Kendrick's Hard Part 5, the majority of folks were like, nah Drake, you're done my guy. A lot of folks felt it was too late for Drake to come back from the devastating Not Like Us diss track. Things settled down for Drake for a while, even though the online communities turned into haters of Drake. Like, imagine a song being so powerful that folks were out here clowning you for 2 months. To make matters worse, on June 19, 2024, Kendrick played Not Like Us 6 different times. Kendrick is a different level of hatred for a person. The man united the East Coast, the West Coast, the NBA community, and the entire world basically to cook Drake into oblivion while sending it all to Tupac, the man Drake also disrespected. Kendrick had celebrities like LeBron and SZA participating in his evisceration. It was here at that night that Kendrick solidified himself as being a top 2 hater of all time alongside Eobard Thawne. Kendrick's Not Like Us has continued to be so sensational that it's been remixed into other things, such as the time when Kicking It With Ross obliterated Ryback, or all the current ones for Dr. Disrespect. Kendrick won the spot for elite hater this year. Kendrick really dropped his music video on the 4th of July. That's crazy, bro. He cooked Drake so badly with this music video, bro. He got his wife, his kids dancing on him. That is diabolical. Got the whole West Coast dancing and flaming him too. And that owl, he locked that owl up in that cage, bro. Nah, man, Drake, he's done. Kendrick cooked this man, bro. Kendrick is for sure the elite hater for this year, man. We've had many great haters this year, but nah, Kendrick, he sealed the deal as the elite hater on July 4th, Independence Day for Americans. He dropped that shit to really let it be known to Drake that, hey bro, you ain't one of us. Anyways, let's get right on with the main video. Who do you guys think is the biggest hater of all time? Comment down in the comments. We got a whole bunch of fun videos coming out for y'all on the channel. And I brought up poking this video because and how the MC this man in general felt popular. As always, y'all, if y'all enjoyed the video, consider him like the channel. Also got an Instagram.